Greetings, I'm Amy from sewinformed.com with one of the first in our series of 5 of easy gifts to make. These little pattern weights are so much fun. These are perfect for your sewing friends, your guild members. They're really heavy, but they're very simple to do and quick and easy. And the best part is all you need are some scraps. I just have some charm squares or some small squares of odds and ends of fabric. Mine have to match, so make sure your fabrics matches. It's extra cool. These are washers from the hardware store. These are a little smaller, and these are really, really hefty. These are 2.5 inch, and I think these are 2 inch. I like the bigger ones with the weights. Odds and ends of buttons that you have laying around. Shank buttons are great. Sew-on buttons are fine. And then we're going to use our trusty glue gun. I also have my circle cutter here. If you don't have a circle cutter, don't fret. You can use a lid from your kitchen to trace these in the size. So the key to this whole thing is however big your washer is, this is 2.5 inches, I want about 2 inches bigger. So I'm going to cut a 4.5, 5 inch circle. Okay. The best part is this is just like making a simple yo-yo. I want you to set up your sewing machine to baste. Some have an automatic baste stitch built in. If you don't, just take your straight stitch, lengthen it as long as possible, usually to about 5, and reduce your thread tension just a couple numbers down, just to kind of help ease in pulling these strings. So what we're going to do is take our circle, and I'm going to show you how easy it is to cut a circle. So I'm going to fold it and fold it into quarters. And then this particular circle cutter, I just lay mine on the fold where it says fold line, like that. And I'm going to run it through the 5.5 inch. Now because my blade is kind of bigger than my circle cutter, it isn't quite as fluid as I would like. And now you get perfect circles. I love that thing. Okay, so I'm going to go over to my sewing machine, and in the bobbin I have purple thread, and I have kind of bright pink on the top so you can see. But this is one time I'm going to give you permission to use 2 different colors in your bobbin. You want to start with nice long tails because we're going to be able to, we're going to have to tug on those. And I want you to come in about 1/4 inch. If this is not rocket science or a Swiss watch, you're just going to sew just inside, not too close. And then right when you get to the end, you want to stop right at the end. You don't want to overlap them. You just want to stop right at the end. Bring your needle up. Avoid using your thread cutter if you have one, because we need these tails. And the reason for the contrasting thread is I know purple is my bobbin thread. So I'm going to take my bobbin threads, separate them here. There we go. And I'm just going to start to pull. And you can see how easy that shears up. And I just keep sliding my gathers and pulling and sliding my gathers and pulling. And because I have issues with evenness, it takes me a little bit longer. So you get yourself a little cup that looks like this. You're going to take your weight, your big washer, and drop it inside. And then you're just going to continue to pull like you're making a giant yo-yo. And then once you get them all gathered, you can just tie them off so it doesn't ungather. Just like that. Get your tails out of the way. Okay, so now this is where the fun part is, where you get to become the designer. So I'm just going to kind of tuck this down a little bit. And I've pre-selected some buttons. And I like to stack my buttons. You can see here the different sizes. These are shank buttons here. These are 3 buttons on top of each other, 2 buttons on top of each other. So this is where you get to be the designer. So I have a green one, and make sure it kind of covers all of the raw edges. You can put a little dot of glue inside. Now be careful, because apparently you probably do know that is really, really hot and will eat your skin. And I kind of tuck all my raw edges in just so it catches a little bit. There we go. And I'm going to put a dab in the middle and put my big button on first. Just kind of give it a little push, and then another dab. Now this one's kind of cool. When you put a little dab like that, and I take my second button and I push it, if there's enough glue, it pops up through the button. I don't know if you can see that. And it almost looks like little brads poking in there, little tiny little jewels, but that's actually the hot glue pushing through the holes of the button. Boy, that really attaches it because it acts like a little knob that the button can't come off with. And that's all you're going to do to make these really cute. And now they have little handles that you can pick them up. What sewing friend wouldn't love these? You can take a Pringles potato chip container, take the label off, wrap it in pretty fabric, and then just slide these down inside and give it as a gift. Every sewer and quilter would love to have a beautiful set of pattern weights. So this is one of the 5 of those series. So just click on the link below and it will take you to our other classes, because the more you know, the more you sew.